My name is Dustin Norris, and this is my little PowerPoint presentation on King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard and why they are the most influential rock band of the modern day. And what makes this band influential? And one of the main speaking points is their discography. They formed in 2010, and as of current date, they have put out 19 studio albums as well as over a dozen live albums. And so, just the amount that they can do in a small amount of time is extremely substantial. So they definitely can output music and give a lot of people to look forward to. And the next thing is their musical diversity. And one of the key points from this is that they tried to go for a different genre of music per se per every album. And some instances they do more than one of a certain style, and if they do, they will label it by volume. And examples of this is that you have their second album, which is a Western, just musical score narrated by one of the band members' fathers. And you can also just skip forward a few years ahead and just skip around discs, and you'll have extreme thrash metal. You will have a completely narrative story without much singing at all, or you can just have a very somber acoustic melody, and it just they have something that everybody can agree with. And another part of this is their community and what they do for those in said community. And what I mean by that is that a lot of the stuff that they release for free and just give to the people. They're I believe their 10th album or so, they just released online and said that anybody can do whatever they want to with it. They can sell their own physical copies of the album, and all they want in return is at least one copy of what they make. And all of their live albums, they do the same thing with. They believe that if people aren't able to see their show, then they should be at least allowed to view it for free without just doing anything they want to with it. And for the band members themselves, they are a group of 7, and this includes 2 drummers, 3 guitarists, 1 keyboard slash harmonica player, and of course, 1 bass player. And that sounds like a lot of people, but the way that they incorporate themselves throughout everything is really how it just comes together so beautifully. There's so much going on throughout their music that you can almost just hear something new every time that you listen to a song. So they have a lot going for them. And also they have their own record studio called Flightless Records, and it is based in Australia, where they are all born. And this helps them, as soon as they're done recording an album, they can just immediately go to the pressings of either vinyls or CDs and just do whatever they want to with it and have their own creativity, because they're not held back by a typical music label such as Atlantic or something like that. But they also have other people that they sign over as well, not just themselves. So they try and help out with the community as much as they can in their area. And another point is the so-called Gizverse. And what the Gizverse is that it is a universe based all on their music, their lyrics, and their art, so to say. They stated before their albums were even created that they knew where the beginning of the story was and how the story would end. And all the lyrics, for the most part, are all intertwined into this universe and massive story. And they have main characters that they mention, and the main characters themselves even have their own distinctive voices that help tie everything together. And all of the art as well is done by a separate person that's not a part of a band, but all of the music videos and album covers, anything like that, all have connections to the Gizverse itself and gives it more depth for the story. And for the future of the band, they definitely like to plan ahead. Like I stated before, they definitely know when their last album will be and what will be the key talking points of that album, because with everything being connected together, they have a sense of direction. And in 2017, they made a plan to release 5 albums in the same year, and they did by the skin of their teeth, because the last album of 2017 was released on December 31st at 11:59 p.m. So they definitely were not lying. And this year they have already stated that they are going to be doing 3 albums, and one of them has already been released earlier this year, followed by them touring in Australia because everything is COVID safe down there, and they're already in the studio as of 2 days ago of me recording this, like already recording their next album. So they don't stop, and they have a huge commitment to the platform that they are on. And as a closure, it's definitely just, you know, there's a lot of reasons why you should listen to them, whether it be their commitment, the amount of range that they have, and just how deep, I guess, one could go into the Gizverse itself if you're a kind of a diehard fan, like I am. But it's just a band that has a lot going for it, and just everything that'll come out this year, even with Corona going on. One of the shows that they did in Melbourne, they immediately after they got back from doing the live shows, they released the entire one of the concerts in its entirety for free on video on YouTube, as well as they already gave a lot of bootleggers, as they like to call them, the official audio, and you can go ahead and pre-order any of the live shows. So it's definitely very much there's a lot to be inspired by from these guys, whether it be their commitment or the just sheer range that they can have and still have a diehard audience. So hope this was helpful, and I shall talk to you again.